Well, hi everyone, Josh here. So you're probably wondering how the first print went. Well, it was a crazy Friday at the lab. After smoothing out several technical difficulties with the files and machines, I was able to print the unit that I'm about to show you. So a couple things to keep in mind first. It's ugly. It was made from biodegradable PLA, which means it's brittle. The next print and the actual product is going to be made from ABS plastic so that it can be polished for smoothness, shine, and comfort. It was also printed at a low quality resolution, so ABS prints come out as a much higher quality. There was a problem with the button print and as well as the walls of the ring itself. So this test print was really important because now we can see that our structural integrity needs to be a little better. So that's one of the things that will be worked on throughout the design as well. So what I'd like to show you now is some changes that are going to be made. Well, I actually spoke with the designer yesterday, and we've talked about how we're going to proceed in the design going forward. As you can see, this is just a rough design. I'm not the designer. I'm just doing this the best I can based on my ability here. So essentially you have this button, and this is going to lay in the clicker flat. And as you can see, it's going to have a nice little curve to it. So that's sort of how the ring's going to look. Something, you know, kind of along that line with a curvature. And as you can see, when we lift this up, the click plate's going to be underneath here. And basically there's a screw that goes into the top of the button up underneath. And then over here you can see a hole for another screw. So what we're trying to do with the new design is keep it as minimal pieces as possible, so that way it's easier to print, and also make all the walls thicker. So, like, you know, unlike the 3D print that came out, the walls will be filled in, and we won't have that texture problem and whatnot. And then the ring itself will be able to come in different sizes. Basically, once we've determined, you know, this here, for example, is, you know, 9 millimeters, let's say, and once we've determined that, then all we have to do is come in and change our ring size, and we can adjust it according to the person's finger. So as you can see from the design in the picture here, there's 2 screws and the button was meant to click the plate. Well, unfortunately it doesn't work like that. So there's one other thing that we've had to consider in the design process, and that's how are we going to put all this together. So that's what I'd like to show you now. So basically what I just wanted to show you in this clip was that we've taken the ring and basically divided it up into 3 pieces. So what you see on top is a layer that's essentially going to go over the button and onto the ring. So that way the button is actually going to be screwed onto the click plate's going to be screwed into the ring, and then the button's going to be screwed onto the click plate, and then the final piece that you see on the top is going to go down on top of the button and screw on. So that's most likely how it's all going to snap together, as you can kind of gather from these images here. So that's sort of what the design process is going through right now, and hopefully we can have that finalized within the next week and go back for another print and sort of polish it up and actually put the clicker plate in and have something that's working. So that's sort of where we're at. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the updates, and thanks for supporting the campaign. If you haven't yet, go ahead and go to the Indiegogo.com and look for Click a Ring.